Welcome, my name is Christian St. Cyr, publisher of the BC Labour Market Report, and welcome to this tour of the benefits of Labour Market Online. Where does a career professional in British Columbia go for labour market information? Well, there's a lot of great resources out there. A person could go to Work BC for sure, and the Job Bank, Canada Job Bank, has a tremendous amount of information. But that's really only the beginning. There's literally hundreds of websites that a career professional could go to if they were looking for information. They could go to Industry Canada or ONET, which is a resource out of the States that's very, very good. Statistics Canada, CFIB, GoToHR, BuildForce, Central One, for tourism-specific information, an organization like GoTo, or even the Certified Professional Accountants of BC do a wonderful regional checkup. So those are all great resources, but even having utilized all of those resources, so often a career professional is looking for information that they just can't find. So where do they go? Well, they go to Google. So often a professional could be sitting here desperately looking for information to better understand how to advise their client or student, and they find themselves going on this wheel of Google. So what is Labour Market Online? Well, Labour Market Online is primarily a curator of labour market information, bringing thousands of resources into one secure source. With all of these websites, they have great information, but they only have information from their own website. We feel it's incredibly important to be able to gather all this information into one logical place. The whole goal of Labour Market Online is twofold. One is to save you time, and two is to ensure you find the very best information available. We've designed Labour Market Online to be an indispensable tool for all career professionals. It's very easy to use. We just go into labourmarketonline.com, click login. The first time a person ever uses the website, all they will do is put in their email address and select a password of their choice, click on the sign up button, and they'll receive a confirmation that they have access, and then they can log in as much as they like from that point on. Because we are already a member, we will click here and type in password, and we log in. The first thing a person sees when they log in is they go to the login page. If it doesn't take a person here immediately, all they need to do is click the login button. But what they're seeing when they first come to it is these pages. The first thing we'll click on is the full labour market directory, and so this is sort of the meat and potatoes of the whole directory. And so you have breaking news, the very latest labour market information that is available to people, what is being broken on a daily basis, understanding the labor market, which essentially gives a person an understanding of how to interpret the labour market. It's excellent for people who are new to the profession or who are gathering sort of big picture information. We've gathered together labour market information from both occupations and industries. We divided up by the 18 provincially designated industries and then identified the occupations that are growing the fastest within each one of those industries. There's video and workshop curriculum, BC Labour Market podcasts, the latest research and reports, so information that's coming out on a constant basis, we have it summarized and linked there. Occupational research, information, so if a person's looking up like all occupations, they want to know about temperament and personality and sort of the big picture information on all occupations rather than a specific occupation which a person would go up here for. There's information on apprenticeship, education and training, networking and business organizations, labour market information about career planning and self-employment, and probably one of the things that is most valuable is labour market information that's exclusive to the BC Labour Market Report that you won't find anywhere else, and that is entirely available for free to our clients. Because of there's so much to go over here, what we've done is we've identified the pages that people are most often needing to visit. And so those pages are breaking news, the current edition of the Labour Market Report, latest reports and studies, data on industries and occupations, community-based employment data, videos and past webinars, registration for September's webinar. So we're doing this in late August, and the current thing we have registering for is our September Labour Market Briefing. So as I click on each one of these, I'll go to breaking news. And so what you see here is we've divided up breaking news into research, business, government. We've been tracking this for 3 years now. And so a person has 2020 information, they have 2019 information, they have 2018 information. And every single one of these is a clickable link. So here's an article about universities fearful that the approaching semester is going to involve budget cuts and lost revenue. So it gives a person a really good insight into the university sector. Then we have business information. So here's an article about what casinos might look like once they reopen after the pandemic. And then you have information about government. So for an organization that's trying to stay on top of the latest policies of government, this is excellent. And so here's an article about the Border Service Agency, which is hiring. So there's an employment perspective. Here's how the employment insurance is impacting Prince George's tourism sector. This is an article about how students are going to be affected by the changes of CERB into employment insurance. And so again, we have all these articles linked, and there's literally thousands upon thousands of articles that a person might find interesting. If we go back to the membership gateway, we can see the most current issue of the BC Labour Market Report. And so here we have years of reports that we've gathered, and the person just need only click on one of them and they can gather all of the information. So instead of a person having to search through their email, they can go in each week and gather this information. And so here you have articles, like this particular article is about the future of work. It's done by Future Skills Centre and the Conference Board of Canada, and it's a series of 6 podcasts that gives a person a sense of where's the labour market going. This is a profile of where the construction industry is going. And each week we profile all of the major stories, and again, they are linked right here within the newsletter. Every staff member within an organization that is a member of Labour Market Online has access to this weekly email, either to go on the website and download it, or to be having it sent directly to their email address. Beyond that, we have the latest reports and studies. And so there's lots of research that's published constantly about the labor market. And sadly, a lot of this information ends up in the news and then it's gone. And a lot of it's really valuable. So here is a study. It's done by Statistics Canada. It was released this morning. And it's the study, it's about earnings of degree graduates by detailed fields of study prior to COVID-19. So it gives you some very, very current information into an area where people are earning a great deal of money and occupations that have a strong outlook. We gather information from dozens and dozens of organizations, and we're constantly monitoring this to provide this information. And each one, we have a clickable link, and we have the organization that produced it and the date that it was released. And so a person could just simply scroll down here, staying on top of the latest labor market information. Beyond that, we have data on industries and occupations. And so this is our occupational profiles. And so we have them for all of the 18 provincially mandated industries. If I click on construction as an example, we have a summary of the construction industry. We have all of the latest data. Here we have the employment data for the construction industry that was released in August this month. We have the 5 fastest growing occupations, and each one of these is linked back to the provincial website, so a person can gather the information that they need on the occupations that are creating the most number of jobs in each sector. We have labor market information that's been released recently. Here is a labor market report produced by the Canadian Apprenticeship Forum on the top 10 Red Seal trades. And so for a person who wants to get in the construction industry, there's a lot of aggregated labor market research. Then we have research sites, and so BC Construction Association is just one of dozens and dozens of associations that we have linked to the construction industry, let alone all of the other industries that we profile. Here are very recent articles about the construction industry. Again, an article right from this morning. Site C is scaling up construction while simultaneously dealing with some major issues around the construction of the Site C dam. So we're providing very current information. And so again, all of these have clickable links, and we go back years with our labor market information on industries and profiles. We go back to log in. Beyond that, we have community-based employment data. So again, this is something that nobody really tracks anywhere. What we've done is we've gathered labor market information for close to 100 British Columbia regions, communities, and census metropolitan areas. When Statistics Canada does the monthly employment numbers, they produce information for Canada and they produce information for the provinces. That's what is produced monthly. Census metropolitan areas, of which British Columbia only has 4, Abbotsford Mission, Vancouver, Victoria, and Kelowna, is produced on a 3-month rolling average. And so when the pandemic hit, we were seeing employment data for Abbotsford Mission as an example, and it was saying that the employment was quite rosy because it was taking into consideration employment data from January and February when we were trying to figure out what was going on at the latter part of March. And so what we've done is we've used a complex scientific formula to provide specific information for specific communities. And we're able to do it on monthly communities. So if you live in Armstrong as an example, or Burnaby, or if you're working in Chilliwack, it allows you to actually look at what has happened in Chilliwack every month throughout the year. And so if we click on the June employment data as an example, we're tracking how many people are employed, how many people are unemployed, how many people are not in the labor market, what's the employment rate, what's the unemployment rate, what's the participation rate, and then we have tracked each one of the 10 occupational codes, so we can tell you, is it up, is it down, how does it compare this month, how does what's going on in this town reflect against what's going on in the region. We have all of the regions at the bottom versus what's going on for the province of British Columbia. So again, we've tried to provide really very specific, current information that, again, we are the only ones who are tracking this information. One of the things that we've been doing is monthly labor market briefings. So we have some fantastic material for job seekers and students. Two videos that I'm very proud of and can be worked into any webinar or online training program is Understanding Labor Market Information, which is sort of my 35-minute take on what a person needs to know to understand how the labor market is evolving. But also Pitchmasters, which is fantastic for young people or people who are new to the labor market, new Canadians, people who are changing their profession, and it really talks about how to make job search personal. But beyond that, we have labor market briefings that we've done for career professionals since the beginning of COVID. And so for each one, we have the video. So a person can go in here and literally register for the video and watch the August labor market briefing. Or they can click on here and actually download a copy of the PowerPoint presentation that we used during the presentation. Or they can click here and there's a website with all of the materials that we used in the briefing. So here's all the research links as well as the PowerPoint and the video recording. So we tried to make this information really accessible so that if people are attending our monthly labor market briefing, they have access to that information, but they can also get it later on at a time that might be more convenient. Beyond that, we have registration for the monthly labor market briefing. So one of the things we found, particularly with COVID, is that the situation is changing so rapidly that people really need to stay on top of it. And so whenever a person logs in, right from the end of the last labor market briefing, there's a link, so a person can literally just click here, any member of Labor Market Online. So a person who works for Maximus, or a person who works for PCRS, or a person who works for Success or Mosaic, a staff member, they can just automatically log in here. We have their email address, so we automatically approve them. They come in here, they click on this, and then they're automatically registering for the webinar and they receive the confirmation. And so it's probably one of the easiest registration processes that are available to people. So I think we've put together a fantastic resource. Again, we're making labor market information real and we're making it current. So often people are trying to thumb through labor market information that's very old. And I think the one thing that COVID-19 has taught us is that the labor market is changing very rapidly and people need to stay on top of it. And so from our breaking news to our latest reports and studies, to our webinars, to our community-based employment data, I feel like we're staying on top of the labor market. And we want to be partners with organizations that want to be really good at this. If you are coming to Labor Market Online, it's as simple as just coming to labormarketonline.com and clicking on the membership tab. And from there, we have all of the information a person needs to be able to set up a membership. It's a very straightforward process. We've found that we can typically onboard an organization within a couple of hours of receiving their registration form. Membership in Labor Market Online provides a number of great benefits. For instance, an unlimited 24-hour access to a secure database for all frontline career professional staff within a member organization. Updates through the weekly labor market hot sheet, which is sent out to all members. Video curriculum to assist with researching the labor market and assist with job search. Dozens of occupational and industry profiles available nowhere else in printable PDF format. Specialty publications such as the BC Labor Market Guide, the BC Job Search Guide, and the BC Education and Training Guide, which have been specifically published by Labor Market Online and aren't available anywhere else. Complimentary access for all staff to attend our labor market briefing, providing the very latest labor market information, and a one-stop resource for asking questions and gathering expertise. Membership is very affordable, and it's entirely based on the size of an organization. For an individual membership, the cost is $24.99 per month. Organizations with 1 to 10 staff members who can identify themselves as an organizational member, the cost is $79.99 per month. For organizations with 11 to 50 staff, it is $149.99 per month. For organizations with 51 to 100 staff, it's $199 per month. And for organizations of 101 plus staff, the cost is $249 per month. With all of these memberships, it's based on the number of career development professionals who work within that organization. So for a large organization like a university that might employ hundreds, if not thousands of employees, you're only looking at the number of people who are working in career development itself. What does that break down to? Well, it's really an investment in your staff. For an office with just 10 staff, the cost of membership in Labor Market Online is just $7.99 per month per staff person. For an organization with 100 or more staff, the cost gets down to as little as $2.49 per staff member per month. In exchange for this investment, Labor Market Online is providing a team of career professionals constantly culling, gathering, and developing the very latest BC-specific labor market information, an activity that would cost any organization hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to undertake. We hope that you see this as an opportunity to work with us to provide you with the very latest information. We welcome you to become a member today. For more information, please visit labormarketonline.com. Thank you so much.